Prior to cancer, I would say that my wife and I, we were living the classic family lifestyle. We had 2 young daughters growing up in the house. We've always been a very active family. Our family loved to do things together, do things outdoors, hiking, camping, running. I remember the specific moment when the doctor told me that I was likely to lose my lung. You're left wondering, what does this mean? Where do we go from here? If I lose a lung, what does that mean for going for a run with my wife, for backpacking with my family? I won't be able to do those things. You know, I want to be here for my family in 10 years. So 10 years, 20 years, however many years. Cancer-free is the #1 goal. If we need to take the lung, let's take the lung, if that's what it takes. You know, that was hard for all of us, knowing that, you know, Dad was going to go into surgery soon. One of my daughters was still at home, the other one at college, and had been part of a youth group, and they raised the funds to fly my oldest daughter home as a surprise for us the week before I went in for surgery. It was a wonderful gift to be given, completely unexpectedly, out of the blue there at the door. So we had a weekend together before I went in for surgery. It was an amazing moment for us. I woke up after surgery and I looked at the clock on the wall. And I remember thinking, wow, has it been that long? Post-surgery is an exceedingly challenging time. Anything and everything that you do hurts. One thing you never want to do after having any kind of chest or internal surgery is cough or sneeze. Highly recommend avoiding that. The doctors were very adamant that part of the recovery is you have to get up and move. You have to get up and walk. You know, I thought I used to be an athlete. I can do this, right? And I got 20 feet down the hallway and it was like, okay, I need to go back to bed now. And it was turn around and just, it was everything I could do just to get back into bed. You know, that was where things started, was just get up and move. So we were coming up on the 1-year anniversary of my surgery. And Heather turned to me and said, we need to do something big to celebrate. I said, let's go for a bike ride together. So as we started that morning for the bike ride, we passed one of these sort of digital signs on the side of the road. It said, warning, road closed next weekend for the Santa Cruz Ironman race. And as we went past it, she sort of offhandedly said, oh, maybe you should train for that. You know, I thought, yeah, right. There's very little chance of me doing a half Ironman.
When he tells the story, he says that I was kidding. I actually wasn't kidding. I kind of meant it when I saw that sign. I knew that he needed motivation to get back into life.
What she'd said to me, it stuck in my head. It wouldn't go away. A triathlon has 3 legs. It has a swimming leg, it has a biking leg, and a running leg. So I have to train for all of those. It was this amazingly foggy morning. Set up all your gear, and then you go down to the water line to start. You know, I hit the water, I started swimming, and you know, I realized this is working. Actually, the first half of the course, I took very, very slowly. But still, I got halfway and I looked at my watch and I said, you know, this is amazing. I'm doing this.
what happened was the triathletes wear a device that when they cross certain points in the course, we get notified that they're moving along. And we actually hadn't gotten one from Keith for an alarmingly long time, so we didn't exactly know what was going on with him on the course. So I said to my brother-in-law and my daughter, like, I'm putting my running shoes on, I'm gonna go find him. Got to the point, it was about 5 miles out, and saw him coming around the bluff. In spite of it being against the rules, I went ahead and jumped in with him and stayed with him for those last 5 miles. I know that Keith was wondering if he was gonna make it. And so I just wanted to provide that comfort and confidence that he would make it.
I pictured this in my head, what this might be like when I triumphantly cross the finish line. At the end of a race, you're just stripped down to raw, emotion, and everything just comes out. And I had so many emotions that went through my head at the same time. It was overwhelming. Because obviously I was excited because I was doing this. But then I was also letting go of all of this pain and sadness and the whole experience of going through cancer. It felt like just this release, of crossing that finish line and just letting go of everything. And I remember taking my hat off and I just threw it in the air and I said, "Take that, cancer. You didn't beat me. I'm still here, and look what I just did." So it was just this, almost euphoric moment of finishing that race. My family was always number one. My wife was always number one. And without her support, I don't know how I would have come through this without having her by my side.
The cancer journey requires an acceptance of uncertainty. You just have to learn to control what you can control and not focus too much on what hasn't happened yet.
If I could go back to the beginning and tell myself something, I would want to be able to tell myself that it's going to be okay. I hope people understand and that not to put limits on themselves before they have to, that they're capable of so much more than they possibly even imagine. Even after cancer, after losing a lung, I never would have thought that I could do a half Ironman. But the fact of the matter is I did. And I want to do more. And I want to see how far I can go. And I hope other people go farther than they think they can go.